So, as Gareth mentioned, we'll be continuing on the theme of B2B commerce, and I'm here with my lovely panelists. So if I could ask you to introduce yourselves to the audience, that'd be great.
Sure. So my name's Matt Dornfeld. I lead global partnerships at Feedonomics. Feedonomics is an enterprise data transformation and syndication platform, which basically means we help brands and retailers and manufacturers do two things really, really well. The first is to expand to new digital channels, wherever those may be, ads, marketplaces, and beyond. And the second thing is helping manufacturers specifically receive product data from their suppliers, aggregate it, normalize it, transform it, and then send it into the systems that they need to use, like a search platform, a website, a CRM, ERP, you name it.
Mark Adams, I'm the general manager for BigCommerce here in Europe. BigCommerce is a multi-tenant SaaS e-commerce platform, widely regarded as by industry analysts as one of the global leaders. Interestingly, we've invested very heavily over the last two and a half years in B2B. So we have the only SaaS platform actually that offers B2B dedicated functionality, a B2B dedicated roadmap alongside our B2C capability and roadmap. And those can be managed from a single storefront instance. So you could be B2C, B2B, you could have them independent, or you can have an experience which allows you, a B2C consumer, to log into the website and purchase, as well as a B2B.
Thanks. Let's make a start talking about the trends that you are both hearing from the businesses that you're talking to. So what are you hearing are the trends that are shaping B2B commerce? Maybe if we can start with you, Matt.
Sure. I think, like a lot of things, it centers around supply and demand. So supply, like many of you here, you've got products that can be valuable to a lot of places in the places that they are. And so I think what we're seeing specifically is a lot of manufacturers specifically are starting to think about more creatively and more strategically about how they're going to represent themselves in channels they've never represented themselves before. And then on the demand side, you've got marketplaces and other channels where buyers are existing and you need to communicate with them. And so more specifically, we're seeing several global marketplaces today invest time, money, resources, headcount into actually onboarding the catalogs that y'all actually have to offer, which is pretty unique and refreshing actually to see mega juggernaut marketplaces actually put their money where their mouths are, because you actually represent the future opportunity with the SKUs that you've never actually put on their channel in the past.
Great, and same question to you, Mark.
Well, I think that what's happening right now is B2B is growing really, really quick. It's something like, it's worth $4 trillion, $5 trillion, something like that globally, which is bigger than the B2C market, and it's growing twice as fast. So many more businesses coming online, whether those be SMBs or large enterprises. So that's the first thing we're seeing. About a third of our new customers are actually B2Bs today, across Europe, for example. The other trend we're seeing is technology transformation. So that's been happening in the B2C world over the last 5 years, the move to SaaS-based technologies, open architectures, kind of plug-and-play type capabilities where you don't have to configure, customize to go and build those experiences you want. If you think about where e-commerce has come from a platform and technology perspective, there was no e-commerce platform vendor was built for B2B. Originally built for traditional B2C retail. And over the years, what's happened is customers have taken that platform and then customized it to provide the experiences and the capabilities they need. That customization over time leads to lots of legacy being developed. I was speaking to the CIO of a really big company over dinner a couple of weeks ago. And he said he's on this technology platform. He just had a bill from his systems integrator for $5 million to go and upgrade the platform. And that is really just to keep the product in support for the next 2 or 3 years. No real additional capabilities being delivered. It actually frozen the development roadmap for 3 months while they figured out whether they go and pay for that or whether they re-platform. And so, yeah, technology transformation, composable architectures, that stuff is beginning to happen in B2B, in the B2B world now at pace, which is great to see.
It sounds like there's some real challenges there for B2B organisations, technology, and perhaps some other challenges that you're hearing about. Would you like to share some of the examples of the challenges that you're hearing clients talk about?
I'll take that. So it's already been mentioned, but the quality of product information, this is as much a challenge in the B2C world. It's even more so a challenge in the B2B world. Typically, the nature of the products are more complex, providing specifications, more detailed product information. And, lots of brands struggle with that. I've been doing e-commerce for nearly 20 years. I don't think I've ever worked on a single project where that probably wasn't the number one problem we were dealing with. Enriched product information, getting it into the system, getting it recognized and embedded in the search technology. And I'm glad search was picked up as another area. And again, in the B2B world, product matching off the product information based off the search query is the number one way that you improve conversion. If you can help that consumer, or that B2B buyer, find the product quickly, they're more likely to check out. And B2B buyers are more time constrained typically than B2C buyers. They're doing that in their own time, but a B2B buyer, they're typically doing that at work when they're thinking about having to do many other things. So, properly enriched product information at scale, pushing that into your own digital channels, the search technology, so that you're converting higher. That's a much bigger problem in the B2B world, and it requires the right tools, but also a huge focus organizationally to say, yeah, we've got a problem with our product information. We need to maintain it properly. We need to enrich it properly. And then we'll be able to build our businesses, in an omnichannel way, much more easily and cost efficiently.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's about operational readiness. And so to your point, as an organization, you all have to be committed to what that change is going to require. How many of you here drink tap water? How many of you have looked in the cup and been like, I'm not sure if I should be drinking this tap water? I'm guilty of it. A lot of you probably also have filters in your homes, right? You might clean the water. You know that cleaner water probably means your body is going to run better when you've had the cleaner water in your system. You'll be more hydrated. Maybe you'll be more satisfied, less pissed off, frustrated, more ready for the day. And product data specifically operates the same way. If you do not maintain and clean your product data on a regular basis, all other areas of your business are going to feel that pain in a different way, which is why it requires organizational commitment. You need to think about, how is my product data going to be used in all the different ways that would benefit my business and drive conversion? The search and merch platform, your ads, your email marketing, your text campaigns, any way that you plan on communicating with a buyer in the future is going to rely on making sure that they're seeing the right product at the right time. They feel like they're part of your experience. So in general, the operational readiness is super key. There was a little bit of talk earlier about operations and that being a profit center and really thinking through how you can get the most out of the business and the team and the resources you have on hand. And I'm biased because all I talk about is feeds, but I would say product data has so many applications through so many different systems that could yield a really powerful outcome if you clean it correctly.
And so on that point, what advice would you give where to start? It can seem like a mountain to climb, right, to fix your product data. Where would you advise that people start?
You have to rely on your teams, right, and your consultants and the people you hire. So in general, we recommend going through feed audits and actually evaluating the quality of your data before you go and distribute it to different places. Ultimately, brands, manufacturers, everybody needs to invest in an omnichannel strategy. Owning that strategy moving forward is going to be super critical, and investing now means you're going to be ahead of where you need to be in the future. An omnichannel strategy is also quite different than a multi-channel strategy. Those two words are often flip-flopped quite a bit, but they do have different meanings. And so the key difference that I would take away from this is that multi-channel means you've put the product at the center of your story, which means you're going to send off data to different channels without a communication between the channels, which means the buyer is not going to have a connected experience wherever you exist and wherever they exist. An omnichannel strategy suggests that you've connected those experiences. So someone that buys from you in one place will be recognized and appreciated by you in a different place, which will yield a different experience, which you can connect with them through a variety of different tools as well.
Talking of experiences, and we heard a lot in the earlier sessions about the parallels between the B2B buyer and the B2C buyer. Mark, if I could ask you, what are the learnings from your perspective that B2B can take from B2C?
So we've talked about the search and the browse experience. Really nailing that, I think, is one of the number one things that we need to do. Yes, it's partly technology. Do you have the right technology to enable that? Do you have the right product data? But then I think about payments as being a really complex area for B2Bs. You need to be able to offer. Well, in the B2C world, conversion rates improve when you offer the consumer the payment option that they would prefer to purchase in. And I still think many retailers and brands really struggle with this. The deploying new payment options is often complex and costly, and it doesn't get done, especially when you're internationalizing across many geographies or growing the business. In the B2B world, that's magnified because most payments, certainly for larger enterprises, will be done via invoicing. So it's an offline payments process. Well, what we're thinking about is, well, how do we bring that offline payments process online so it can be managed in the online environment, tracked, followed up on, and allowing a seamless, frictionless checkout process, but also sorting out that back office process so that you do get paid for the goods that you're selling. So at BigCommerce, for example, we have something like 80 different payment integrations, and a customer can choose what they deploy on what storefront internationally. But we're also launching an invoicing portal to allow those offline payments for B2Bs as well. So I think if you can convert at a higher rate, you're going to grow your business faster. But one of the challenges is the complexity around integrating many different payment types, and that needs to be made easy. That's down to a vendor, such as BigCommerce, but others. And I think we need to solve that problem for customers and reduce that complexity to improve checkout experience.
And then finally, to finish up, looking ahead and future forward, what's next? How do B2B businesses win in commerce? Maybe we can start with you, Matt.
Yeah, I think those businesses will win if they own their omnichannel data strategy beginning like today. As in like leave here, go home, and start thinking about it. Because it's so critical to get ahead of where this is going. The points about TikTok are highly relevant, also early. But in general, the early arrival is going to win long term. And you have enough team and resources and just content in the world to actually pull into your strategy today. There's really no reason to not invest. So generally speaking, I think we'll see more personalized experiences, investment in other solutions that engage and create those experiences like text and email. The demand-based presentation touched on this earlier, but don't talk to people that aren't relevant for your business. And you can do that by using tools that help you personalize and target exactly who you want to engage and who's actually looking to engage with you.
I think the businesses that are going to win are those that remove complexity and friction from that buying process and make it as slick and easy as possible, but also removing complexity from your technology architecture. As I said at the beginning, when you're investing and you're building complex systems, you tend to build lots of legacy into that, and you have to support that. You have to upgrade that, and that means you are investing then money in frankly stuff that's not going to help you grow. And so finding ways to reduce complexity, I completely get offline B2B processes can be complex, but in the online world, let's not replicate all of that complexity for the customer. Let's try and reduce that complexity. So thinking long and hard around how we do that, making some tough decisions occasionally around not replicating, different roles and responsibility in different systems, and then pushing it out to the online experience. We need to simplify, and actually simplification is harder than people think. It's easier to copy a process and just do it online than it is to reinvent a process and make it easier.
Definitely. So thank you so much for your time tonight. And I think we are moving on to a break.